So welcome everyone. Today is Friday, April 29th, and this is the Life Force Canada Agriculture Think Tank. And our think tank is about the Canadian Restoration Plan, and we're focused on Canadians growing their own food. And we're here to share ideas and support you. In fact, support all our provinces in our projects, and we're also here to stay updated on food security and water security. Yeah, welcome. Anyway, thank you for being here. My name is Karen, and I am here from Manitoba. And do you want to just let us know while we're waiting for more people to come in, tell us where you're from and why you're here? Want to start, Tanya?
I'm Tanya I live in Canmore, Alberta. I just always been one of my interests, the whole gardening and trying to grow my own food. I live in a bit of a challenging area, so a really short growing season, and then once it gets warm, it gets too warm. But yeah, so I'm just constantly learning and wanting to expand what I do and try to share.
Thank you very much. We're glad you're here. So Tiffany, do you want to check in? Just let us know where you're from, what you hope to contribute to the call today.
Ontario, Toronto, and I have obviously an interest in food, sustainability, ability, and healthy food. I've been a health fanatic for many, many decades, and have tried all kinds of things. I don't have access to a garden, and I don't have a balcony, but I bought my trays. I'm going to try to grow microgreens indoors. I have a challenging southeast direction with a little bit of direct sun in the morning. So I'm going to do my best. I'm going to use a couple of things, structured water. So I'll keep you guys, abreast of that. And the other thing that I've been thinking since last week's call is, and I haven't had a chance to look anything up, but I would really be interested with, because of what's coming in the next while, or what could come, who knows, all right? Mm-hmm. So this is all about being, preparation and learning as much as what we can learn. I would be very interested in learning about wildcrafting. I don't know if it's called foraging, mm-hmm. but it's, wild berries, even greens, obviously not in the city of Toronto. Mm-hmm. but out even dandelions. I mean, there's nothing more nutritious than green dandelions, but anyway, so that's my thing.
And yeah, that's great. Do report too on your success with structured water. I'm a big proponent of that. So.
Hello, this is Joseph. I live in Cochrane, Alberta. I've been listening to as many of these meetings as I can because of everything that's going on, and we have to plan for the future. Patrick, the other one you talked about, is my oldest son in Manitoba, and he's very much into this, the natural law and everything else. So hello, everyone.
Wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, we're glad to have both of you here. So that's awesome. Ellie, do you want to check in? Tell us what's on your mind, where you live, and why you're here.
Hi, I'm in Burnaby, BC, and like-minded people. That's my interest right now, and I learned so much being on all the think tanks, and I'm working on a project right now, actually, agriculture, and the tower gardens and vertical farming. Yep, I yield.
Wonderful, thank you. We do want report on that as you go along with that. All right, Patrick.
Hi, Karen. Hi, everyone. Yeah, my name's Patrick. I'm from Manitoba. Joseph's my father. We've been catching these calls for a while. It's about being prepared and learning as much as we can. There's so much to growing food and even food just in general, between the seeds you get, things you can do to improve your yield, the soil quality, the connection to the plants, freezing of food, preserving, different food combinations when you eat. There's so much to find out. So yeah, we like catching these calls and listening to everyone's information. And I think, like Joseph said, the name of the game is try to be prepared and be proactive. And with that, I yield.
Thank you, Patrick. That's awesome. Ancient Brown Bear, what have you got for us today?
I've been in our at these meetings before that are absolutely wonderful. Just a bit of an update as to the research that I've been doing with regards to self-sustaining units. There are manufacturers that are willing and ready to go. I've already asked for large orders because I'm a community builder and we're looking at building holistic centers all throughout Turtle Island and attaching agriculture to our communities, of course, amongst many other things, dance and fun stuff, music, but most importantly, teaching the kids how to sustain themselves. So I don't have anything specifically to report to the group right now, but I am on it and I'm working with people in Calgary, the Calgary Council, and I'm also working with the Ontario Council and Lake Simcoe Council because of the properties that I am personally interested in building community. And I'm an agriculturalist by trade, so all of these things come naturally to me with regards to the necessity in the now. And that's what I'm working with. It's absolutely essential that we get some sort of grow ops orchestrated for community as well as individually. I highly suggest growing a garden and looking out for ourselves right to begin with. And we're capable of doing that right now. Perfect season. And now it's time to buckle down, start doing a garden with the kids, with grandparents, make it an intergenerational, super duper fun activity for everybody and get the ball rolling with regards to our own food sustainability, because we absolutely need to secure that in the now. And with that, I yield.
Thank you very much. Sounds like you got lots going on there. So that's awesome. Thank you. Anyone else want to check in before we continue? Hi, Larry.
Hello.
Good to see you. Do you want to just let everyone know where you're from and why you're here?
Caribou County, BC, and we're trying to do some of this agricultural stuff as well. We're right in the middle of BC, and we're looking at doing greenhouses and other things to put in food sustaining.
Wonderful. Thank you. So again, keep us posted on how things are going along. So I just want to share a few different resources. I had seen on Telegram that the CFR started a group, CFR Food Solutions. So it's a new Telegram thread. It's a think tank, brain trust, started by Life Force. This is like the global, not Life Force Canada, addressing the problem of global agriculture and transport of food. Again, I haven't checked it out. Looks like they're having regular meetings, and I'll put the link in the chat if you want to check it out and see if there's anything interesting there that they are doing.
Is that the same as CFR updates on Telegram?
Yeah, it's a new Telegram thread. So yeah, if you can see my screen here, I talked about this before, the Soil Web School, and I'm going to post the link into the chat as well. And it's just really interesting. They had the 4 different webinars. What I'll post is the link to their YouTube channel if you want to watch any of those. And what I thought was interesting, just all of these experts in their individual area about soil regeneration was just that they have, training that they're doing for people interested in this as a career path. And I think it's really interesting. I've talked about the idea, for example, here in Manitoba, of us putting out the word that we're interested in people. It could be agricultural students or young people, or maybe farmers, anyone that might be interested in taking this kind of training and starting a whole new career to work with the farmers and growers and that sort of thing to regenerate the soil. So yeah, this is the Soil Web School. Again, you can go to their YouTube channel and watch all of their videos on there. Most of them are about 4 hours long, an interesting resource that you might take a look at. The other thing that I saw someone posted on our LFC Telegram chat was about the Meet the Farmer, and I thought that was kind of interesting. Karen Klassen had sent me a video about land that I thought we could watch a portion of it today. It's very interesting. It's with Mark Christopher.
Noticed public notice services all the time. Whether that will be in the newspapers or whether that's a soap opera or a television Netflix series, these are all public notices being served on you, including movies like The Matrix, including the movie James Bond. These are all public notices spoken to in symbolic language. Full stop. You people in Montana and Wyoming, you are being at this moment served notice by a movie or a television series called Yellowstone, as well as another program called Outranger, I think it's called, and a few others that have already predated this one. The point that I'm making is they're showing you the mechanisms and the consequences of you losing your farm to the corporate world, because they're going to hack into your world. They are all leases. Your land is not freehold, it's actually a lease. And they will be finding ways to break into that lease to get you off that land, because if they don't get you off that land, that's the corporation, they have to pay settlement losses to the original owners through that land. And to do this, they will come up with highly creative ways. Okay? And those are the things that I'm going to be exploring with you. Just to remind you, if you ever wondered why New York, and that's just one example, and another example is California, why those two particular states completely and utterly emptied out by like 35% overnight, is because they knew something and you don't. Plain simple as that. I know you can confabulate to believe and make up stories to say, well, I really am not that stupid. Let me make it very clear, you really are that bloody stupid. And I'm not talking to my subscribers. I'm talking directly to the ones that are new to this broadcast. Because sooner or later, you're going to have to come to the Federal Postal Court or to me to be able to solve the problems that are coming your way. Okay? If you want to understand the significance of what I've said, go through some of my live videos and you will see the information. I give 100% proof on 99% of the things that I speak for. The other 1% are just kind of nuances or mispronunciation of words, which you have seen me and heard me do. What you are looking at now is a television series, Netflix series called Yellowstone, which was transmitted 2018 and is still going on. And all those things that you are witnessing there, all the dirty tricks that are played on this rancher, played by Kevin Costner, is going to be played on you as the so-called independent ranchers in Montana. The last series finished with saying how they're going to come up, the federal government or the state, come up a way of shutting down this Yellowstone ranch, which is one of the biggest ranches there. That is to say that they have found an endangered species of a plant or an animal on his land, and therefore the land is open for protection, where he cannot farm on it and touch upon it. A game that has been played on many times. Full stop. What you're now looking at is another program that's been going out, and that's called Outrange. Okay, and it's set in Wyoming. They're also telling you the land that the ranches are on, the farms, etc., the lease on it has run out from the state, because the state are the ones that bought up these leases from the chieftains. And they're 99-year leases, some of them are 125-year leases. And I've also spoken to about, which nobody else seems to have ever spoken about, is that there is such a thing called a 999-year lease. You got to ask yourself, why isn't that you are not aware of these things? So those lands that you think are in freehold, no, they are in leasehold. And they're going to come up very creative ways to take that land off you and that farm. And the Federal Postal Court is telling you we're the only ones that are creative enough to be able to stop that. This picture that you're looking at, Outrange, they're basically saying pictorially, and I know it's very easy to dismiss, but I'll give you the proof later on, is that they're going to turn your world upside down. That's a mountain right on top of his head. That's called mirroring. Quite often, they will use this to service your subconscious mind, which controls more than 95% of all your body functions. Subconscious, unconscious means that you're not aware of them, and yet what you are not aware of represents over 95% of what you are. Think about what I have just said. That program, it's an all-star cast, beautifully narrated, beautifully shot, is telling you your world, the state, the corporations are going to turn your world upside down. And I have seen this, and quite often these people come to me, come to us when it's too late. When I ask them, how long have you known me or heard of me? They said, oh, we've been following you for 1.5 years. You are now contacting me when you're at the edge of a precipice, when you are at the edge of losing everything, and you've only got a few months to sort these things out now. We can't help you. Now, we can't do these things like in a few months' time. We're not miracle workers. And they lose. On this particular poster, Outrange, they're basically saying your world is going to be turned sideways. Yeah? The significance of all of this is that, have you ever thought about what this means? It's a very popular show in your country, in Canada as well, and so many other countries. That's the Oprah Winfrey show. And when you put that into a mirror, when you reverse the image, it reads Harpo. That's public notice display saying that she has the ability to enter your subconscious mind. All advertisers have that ability as well, that are worth their weight, as it were. In other words, they can get you to do things without you actually knowing about it consciously. That's what she's advertising. is that she has a way into your subconscious mind. Yeah? Oprah means Apo in reverse. Public announcement to say, and I'm repeating myself, I have the means to sell whatever you want to sell because I know how to enter their subconscious mind, just like a Coca-Cola bottle has the ability to enter your subconscious mind. Hence, it's an icon in your own mind, replacing those things which are in nature. My website will give you a whole education system on how mirroring works. There are documents and things on there which they say don't exist. Okay, so that's the significance of it. If you thought these things don't work and they are just simply playing games and being artistic with you, no, no, no. They're telling you that your time is up. And if you allow the corporations to get away with it, they'll turn these lands into oil fields and put you in a perpetual state of servitude, just as Washington, D.C. has done so. Have you ever wondered why men with guns want to take your guns away? Have you ever wondered why there are so many campaigners out there to say that men have the right to bear weapons? Knowing full well a weapon is an illegal instrument to purposes of which only to harm people. The word is armament. David Wayne Miller taught you that very well. You see, they want to talk you out of claiming to have armaments and claiming for you to have a weapon. Why do you have this weapon in your hand? Why do you have this weapon in your hand is what they accuse you of. And you say, no, no, it's not a weapon, it's a pen. No, but you've grasped it like that, so you're going to use it on me as a weapon. No, no, I'm just holding it so I can put it back into my pocket. And they'll try to take you into that world of fiction, called dabble, because they don't want you to construct guns, construct buildings, construct public relations. Look, most of you folks out there in these wilderness ranches think that you are independent and you don't need other people. You're about as wrong as you can possibly be, okay? And you know the hole that you're looking at here? He discovers a hole on his ranch. I'm speaking to you as a plenipotentiary judge. That represents a hole in America. That means there's not a contract on that piece of land. That land, and I know what that means and how that works. If you look up how many places that the federal government doesn't have a contract with in America, you're going to get a big surprise. They call it a hole in America. I released that information a few years back. There are vast regions. The chronology of this is that there is holes all over the place. And if you know how to use these things, where the federal government has no jurisdiction, you can have a lot of power. That hole essentially will grow. It will grow and grow until you guys realize that the land is for settlement. Look up those videos that I've released. If you people in Wyoming, in Montana, whether it be houses, mortgages, taxes, farms, ranches, you're going to contact me, study my website, spend a weekend listening to the things that I have to say on YouTube, on my channel. Then probably, you'll be ready for David Wayne Miller's lectures, which are also found on my website, as well as on YouTube. So
yeah, as we know, again, as Mark Christopher discussed, they tell us through entertainment, through movies, that sort of thing, things that they have planned. So yeah, I think it's worth looking at, what's going on in Canada, what has gone on in Canada, might be planned for the future. So any comments or discussion about that, about, the flooding that we've had in British Columbia, and there's lots of flooding happening now in southern Manitoba. So that's really interesting too, that, what happens when people are living on a floodplain, and if they're forced off their land, then what happens, right? Do the people go back? Tiffany, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, do you know what he's talking about when he's referring to the hole in America? Is he talking about in legal terms, like it's a way of getting around things, or what specifically is he referring to? Because basically he was saying something about if we realized it, it would keep growing, and we realize that the land is for settlement.
Yeah, good questions. Anyone want to weigh in on that? I know sometimes it might take going back and watching it again, right? And
what was the name of the video? Do I just Google his name? And
yeah, I'm going to put it into the chat. So
I just want to say one other thing, because I kind of find it very interesting, is that, we've been told over and over that they tell us 3 times, because according to what they have to do is warn us 3 times, and then they're able to do whatever. It's perfectly all right. And so I find that so fascinating. Thanks so much for bringing that forward, because that's exactly what they're doing, over and over and over in a drama. We're being told, even when you look at the images, we're even being given images. And we know already that we live in an upside down world, but now they're spelling it out. It's fascinating, isn't it?
yeah, it's very much so.
It sounds like he suggests we listen to more of his stuff to get more information, though, I think, to understand more fully. I think I've seen him once before, but I really don't know too much about him. I haven't focused on that one.
Yeah, Karen had shared, I think it was on one of the Monday night calls, she had shared part of his video. I think that was to do with the war in Ukraine. And so yeah, he's got lots of stuff up on his channels. This was another video. We won't be, this one that I've posted, Buying Land Beware. And it was a walk through possible land and talking about pitfalls and that sort of thing for someone who is looking at purchasing land. And so Karen had recommended that one as well. Anyone else want to jump in and comment on that video?
Is that the guy that's calling himself the Postmaster General?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard it said that he's a fraud.
Yeah,
I don't have any proof either way. So I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. I think in this case, whether he is or isn't, it doesn't matter to us so much as the information that he's sharing, right? To be aware of what's going on and the fact that they are giving us information on what they intend to do. So thank you, Larry. So the last link that I posted into the chat, that one is for the soil web school. If you want to watch any of those videos in there. So anyone want to jump in on any other topic, food or water related?
I could share what we're doing up in Caribou County if anybody's interested.
Yeah, go ahead, Larry. You want to share your screen? Is that what you were going to do? Okay.
This is the problems we're having, some of the transportation vulnerabilities. The highways are in bad shape now because of all the stuff they're doing. But all these, then they've got rail, all these blue lines, we're working on a plan to reactivate them. They're all lines that are in there. and they service the whole province, both Alberta and BC. And the red is in existing. And then we've got problems with soil contamination. And a lot of that is caused by the chemtrails that are going over. So we're working on something. There's not much we can do about that, I don't think. And we've got water quality problems. That Site C dam we have here is actually a device put in by the deep state to hide all the contamination that's in the water up there. So they want to dam it up. You can't, for example, at Fort St. John, you can't eat the fish out of the river because they're all poisoned badly. So there's a problem we're trying to work on, but that's the problem is it's big money involved in that one. Let's see. Yeah, so we're trying to work on that. Some of the solutions. This is we're in red here. We're trying to put in where those green dots are. We're looking at putting in those greenhouses. They're called Wallinis. This is the areas where we're looking at putting them in our county. We're planning on a test site at a couple of our members. Sort of what they look like. We put them in with 3D printers. We're working on a 3D printer, but it's actually in Edmonton right now. They're doing tests on it to see what is the best material to make these things out of with the 3D printer. And here's the inside. And there's the technology there and everything that goes along with that is interesting, using energy saving equipment like LED lights, for example, and then there's a water purification system. That's one of the problems we're dealing with too, is the water, pure water. Like I've even got problems with my well water here because of the fracking that's going on in BC. Here's some of the things you can do with the 3D printer we're looking at. Put a geodesic dome over some of these different things. Like some are looking at doing growing fish, like the hydroponics, tilapia fish. We've got a guy up in Prince George that's got one going already. And then we've got one of our groups is doing the DPE. That does something to the soil. I don't have enough education to tell you exactly how it works.
Larry, there was, I think it was a couple of weeks ago on the Life Force Canada call. It was a presentation on DPE, and so that would be on
Yeah,
the
he's the inventor.
YouTube channel. And then Lisa Thomas had done an interview with Dr. Presser as well. So yeah, some good information on both of those. Very interesting products.
Yes, actually, Tom, the moderator in Ontario, he knows Richard pretty good.
Yeah.
So he's been doing some talking with him.
Wonderful.
Yeah. There's some of the solution. Water treatment. We're looking at doing water treatment. Industrial plasma water treatment there. Food processing. Here's the kitchens we're looking at for these Wallapinis. Try and feed the homeless. I think that's about it.
Wonderful, thank you. Question then about the water contamination, when you were talking about the fish that you can't eat. So the again, whatever it was you had about the plasma water, what solutions were you looking at for the water contamination of the rivers? Is it like the aquabot? Do you know, can those aquabots be used in rivers or only in lakes and other bodies of water?
We're still in the research on that. We're trying to get that Site C dam stopped, and that will help clean out the poisons that's in the water. But you have to almost stop the fracking as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing with that is that Peace River runs through Alberta as well. So we're trying to work some kind of a joint operation to try and get that Site C dam stopped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a problem. There's the ongoing solution, right? So it's sort of like chicken and the egg. Do you work on addressing the water quality, or do we have the means to stop the mining or the fracking or whatever that's causing the problem in the first place?
Well, as we get into it, we run into the huge money, and every time you turn around, it's out of the government's hands. They're being directed by the people that have the money. So that's where we're at that's one of our projects going.
Yeah, that was wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's
Very informative and also very impressive.
I guess if there's nothing else, then we will end the call for today. Thank you for being here. We'll be back again next Friday at the same time. Before next Friday, we will have the new link to my Zoom, so that will be changing. I'll be sure to post it in the Lifeforce Canada Agriculture Telegram group, the new link, and then we'll have it up on the Lifeforce Canada website as well, so that if you go in there and you scroll down, or go to the think tank page, then there will be a new Zoom link. So we'll do what we can to make sure that everybody's got that new link ahead of time. So thank you for being here. And again, we will kind of work on, if we can, for May. Absolutely, we want all your ideas. We want to be talking about those things that are of interest to you. So be sure to post them in the Telegram group. Any resources that you have or ideas on topics or videos, whatever you've come across. So thank you again, Larry, for your awesome presentation. Okay, so if you can see my screen, again, it looks a little bit different if you're on your phone, but I'm just going to click on the think tanks in the menu at the top. And then here's the think tank page. Scroll down to Friday. And then you'll see the Zoom call link and then the Telegram link underneath it. So yeah, if you ever forget or can't find it, it is here on this page. It's just, like I say, next week we'll have a new Zoom link put in here. So thank you, everyone. We'll see you next week.